Welcome back, everyone, spiritual warriors. There was a bird that just flew on by, and the other day I think he had a nest or something, some fledglings, and one flew on my shoulder, and that was cool. Here we are again, in the stillness, in the quiet, among the calamity and division in the world. We're just still here. It goes on. The wonderful presence that many of us call God, as He watches down over us in His protection. And we're going to be doing another video today on protection. We're also going to get into things like sleep and the importance of meditation and prayer before bedtime, especially before bedtime. I'm also going to cite a few verses because there's a couple of people in a given crowd that say that you can't be Christian and meditate. And while they have made the scripture say that, I'm going to counteract with scripture that says that that is just not true. And their comeback will be, well, that's Eastern meditation, not Christian. The false division, another false division. Again, who's man to decide that? Just another argument with an overinflated ego that some of these other YouTube Christians have. But I'm going to cite from the source. And it doesn't say on the word, it just uses the verb to meditate. Anyway, today we're going to start off, and then I'll spin off. To see thy power and thy glory as I have seen thee in the sanctuary, because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus I will bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow, and fatness of my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips when I remember thee upon my bed. And I will praise thee with joyful lips when I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee. It doesn't say, it says meditate on God. The mystery of God. It could be this. It could be this silent, harmonious presence that He is with us right now. So where in Scripture is the condemnation of the art as old as time? It's not there. You can make it there, of course. You can take a text and make it into anything, but it's not there. Meditate on thee in the night watches. Thou hast been my help, therefore in the shadow of the wings I will rejoice. My soul hard after thee, right hand upholdeth me. So, and they shall fall by the sword. The king shall rejoice in God. Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory, but the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. Well, we certainly have a lot of liars these days. So, number one, meditation is not bad. Number two, before you go to bed, review your day and think of all the good things that happen. And by some way of nature, it has a way of, so many people just go to bed, get up, go to bed, get up in a cyclical routine. But I've noticed that things start to flow in a better harmony when you are grateful for what you have. And normally after a prayer session at night, I will go into meditation. Then after I am heard outwardly, and that's when I try to return inwardly to spirit. Now, Isaiah's the right hand upholds me, but also a prayer upon awakening with gratitude. The bottom line is we're going to have to be more in contact with not only Scripture and God, but in contact with ourselves, spirit, this beautiful nature that surrounds us. Because the spiritual battle is underway. You might not see it, or you might see it. But it is. And I choose to come up here on the hilltops and disengage. Sure, I've gotten upset at things before I became really into the spirit, but I guess you really can't just change the devices of man. And I come up to the hill, and I let all the fighting down there, and the you versus me, and the them versus us. I won't have my rights infringed upon in any way. At all, ever, period, the end. But that can all go on down there. I want no part of it. I'll be up here in bliss with my birds and my candle and my beautiful crafted tea from the rich, elegant hills of Fairfield, Connecticut. So, it's interesting too, this topic of sleep and insomnia. And people pray before bed. You know, a lot of things happen at night. You have the 3 a.m. phenomena, which would be a separate video. You have Jesus saying, the thieves come in the night. Commit your nights to God. Pray for other people. And then you have insomnia. And you ever notice the more you try to fight insomnia, the more anxiety you get. Don't try to go to sleep. You won't be successful. You can't just try to go to sleep, you see. But usually, insomnia is happening on a spiritual level. There's a reason. You know, scientists really can't even explain why. We can explain why you need it and why it's necessary, but they don't understand really what actually goes on during sleep. Postulations from the beginning of time suggested some sort of soul travel. Some people have reported dreams that later come to fruition. So it's not just a played out movie like Inception. Good movie. But they don't exactly know what happens. And insomnia, believe it or not, might be a form of protection in so much as that's usually when an attack can occur of a negative energy and of a negative force. And Psalm 127. Except the Lord build the house, and the labor in vain build. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow, for he giveth his beloved sleep. I interpret that as, don't fret about the sleep. He's going to give you rest. But in those moments, it might be a form of protection, as terrible as you feel. You might not immediately need to jump on, Ambien just because you can't fall asleep. Children are an heritage of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is reward. Arrows in the hand of the mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that quiver full of them, and shall not be ashamed. Psalm 91:11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under the feet. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath knoweth my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So again, you can't sleep at night. There might be a reason for it. Maybe it's to prevent you from some sort of psychic attack. Almost all the time I wake up right before 3 a.m. and guess what? From 3 to 4 a.m. it's a very occult hour, and it's where a lot of other types of spiritual practices, you can look that up, go on, and it's a form of maybe angelic protection. I just ride it out, stay awake, and then I go back to bed. God hath charged me with his angels through his protection. Especially Archangel Michael, which I know and feel his presence. It's a familiar presence. A great blue light. But it's not just any blue, it's a very majestic, royal, beautiful, can't be described in words blue. No explanation for it. But again, sleep, angelic protection, waking up and praying, going to bed and praying, importantly, meditating. Psalm 63, verse 6. Meditating at night, powerful. Those that seek my soul is to go to the lower parts. Those that seek my soul is to go to the lower parts of the earth. Frequently throughout the Bible it mentions this lower earth. Maybe it's the hell realm. In psychology, it could be the closer part of the reptilian part of the brain, which is responsible for nightmarish, hellish cravings and addictions and the ego that has created this me persona, or as I call it, the authentic fraud, and is always coming from a place of lack. But I take it as more literal. I take it as not literally inside the earth, but there some sort of lower dimensional being, demonic one might say, which all surrender before Yahweh, which all surrender before Jesus Christ. And believe me, I've seen the Saturn videos, and I've seen read up on Saturn, and David Icke, Jordan Maxwell, all that stuff. It's entertaining, but now I don't worship the planet Saturn. Thank you for your unnecessary anecdotes. But that's it. That is the story on protection and why it's so important. The angelic protection, but remember that it's through God. Our next video is going to be on the Bible itself. I've come across a lot of people that attack the Bible and then quote it as a way of refuting a point. And I find it ironic that the most dismissed and attacked book is the one most often quoted from. So we'll be getting into that. Some of these cats I feel bad for on YouTube. I don't know if they're just bored or what, but they have nothing to do. Filled with lower energy level kind of stuff. But that's their world. I'm up here on my mountain. Hello.